Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all here this evening for the second launch of the TRM National Grand Prix League and Premier Series. This is the second year of a 3-year sponsorship agreement with TRM and Show Jumping Ireland, and it's a great pleasure for me it is a great honour for me to be associated with it as chairman of the Show Jumping Association of Ireland. The Premier and National Grand Prix Leagues are the pinnacles of Irish show jumping and bring us closer to the international stage every year. It is with great credit to the Premier Series that many of our national riders are progressing to the international scene. Alexander Butler is evidence of this, and yesterday he recorded another great win for Ireland in the Grand Prix at Lumen. And I must also take this opportunity to congratulate Edward and Catherine Doyle as their homebred stallion Flexible was yesterday crowned as world champion with Rick Fellows on board. It is a testament not only to Irish breeding but also to Irish show jumping. Personally speaking, I am looking very much forward to another successful summer of show jumping in the Premier Series and National Grand Prix League. It is now with great pleasure that I will introduce Raoul Masterson as Managing Director of TRM.
Thank you for all coming here this evening. It's a great honour to be the sponsor of the Premier Series and the National Grand Prix Series. Last year was incredibly exciting and very, very successful. Both the National Grand Prix and the Premier Series went down to the last day. In the Premier Series, Peter Smith was in the lead heading into the last day, but Eddie Maloney just caught him on the line. But not to be outdone, Peter, who faced a challenge from Mervyn Clark on the last day, won the National Grand Prix Series. Both of them were successful. Both of them showed the highest talent in Ireland with, amazing horses on show. And I do believe this year will be even more successful. I think show jumping in Ireland has never been stronger. We've had a wonderful year nationally, we've had a wonderful year internationally, and at the children's level, the junior level and the young riders level, we've been very successful as well, which shows great promise for the future. A couple of highlights from last year, and the highlight for me really, one of the highlights was Ireland finishing 4th in the Maidan Series. And that's an unbelievable achievement. You only have to think it's probably like Shamrock Rovers getting into the semi-final of the Champions League. But these are the world's best horses, the world's best show jumpers, and for Ireland to achieve such a high place ahead of countries with 60 or 70 million people and maybe 100 times the amount of investment in the industry is outstanding. I really enjoyed the Aga Khan Trophy Day, where Ireland were just pipped at the line, unfortunately. They came second. But we had a win at Le Bowl, we were second in Dublin and Aachen, and third at Hickstead. So they're extraordinary achievements at the very, very highest level of show jumping. We didn't qualify for the Olympics, unfortunately, but we'll be well represented there by both Dennis Lynch and Billy Toomey, both of whom I'm sure will do us proud. And then on the young riders' side, the Children on Horses team brought back a team gold from the European Championships in Comporta. The Irish Pony team added to the tally, bringing home team silver and individual silver at the Europeans in July. So really at every level it was a tremendously successful year, and the foundation for all of that success is right there. It's in Show Jumping Ireland, it's in the Premier Series, it's in the National Grand Prix Series, and it's in the winter and the spring tours, which gives Irish riders the chance to ride all year round with reasonable prize money at a very, very high level. I'm delighted to welcome here Cian Conor, who's one of Ireland's preeminent show jumpers, we know for a very long time. He's done extremely well. I got my reports from Wellington, and he was well up there every day, I know that. And I'd like to congratulate him on his double clear in the First Nations Cup of the year, which led to Ireland's victory. Congratulations on that, Cian. And also Conor Swail, who we're very pleased to have had a long association with, and also doing extremely well. Again, I got great reports from Wellington. And probably the highlight so far this year, and I'm sure there will be many more highlights, is a second in the World Cup Series in Toronto. So congratulations, Conor. Again, this year, the Grand Prix Series is going from strength to strength. The qualifiers for the Premier Series will count as events in the National Grand Prix. So there'll be a total of 23 National Grand Prix events. There'll be the usual 10 Premier League events. The prize money, it doesn't pay for the type of horses and expenses and travels that's involved, but it is reasonable and it does give people a great incentive to go out and participate in these events. I'd like to congratulate Show Jumping Ireland on organising these events. I think show jumping in Ireland has never been stronger. I would perhaps just throw in one thing. I thought the League and the Premier Series last year were reasonably attended, but I thought for the standard of show jumping that was available, there should have been a lot more people there. And I would certainly urge all of us, TRM from our own part, TRI through our Facebook and Twitter and advertising, Show Jumping Ireland through their social media and email database. The Irish field are represented here. I would urge you all to give more prominence to the results of the National Grand Prix and Premier Series, and also to give more prominence in advance to people of the events that are coming up, so that we get more people interested in the series, more young kids hooked on show jumping, and a bigger and brighter seminar. So from TRM's perspective, we're absolutely thrilled to be associated with the National Grand Prix and Premier Series. We signed a 3-year deal last year, so we'll be involved this year and the following year. And hopefully, if the terms aren't too hard in 2013, we hope to continue after that. I'd like to thank you all for coming here today, and wish you happy show jumping in the year to come. Thank you.
Saturday, so I presume with Cian and Conor, I suppose we'll ask them first, are they open to attend Dundalk, and what horse they're bringing, and how are they going to be able to support the Premier Series as well as support the team as well here?
Sure. Well, first of all, yeah, I plan to go to Dundalk. It's a show I like doing. It's great that 2 of my sponsors are involved, both Therapy Remedies and Horseware with Tom McGuinness. And it's been a lucky show for me. I've won the Grand Prix there several times, so I'll be taking my best horses there this week in advance of a trip to France on Monday.
And the rest of the series?
The rest of the series I'll be over and back. The problem is being based in Ireland with the horses. It's hard when I'm doing the Nations Cups to keep coming back, so I tend to stay away for the summer. And my plan, all being well, will be to go away after Dundalk and to stay away until the Dublin Horse Show.
How prestigious is it to win one of the Premier rounds as compared to one of the other national rounds?
Premier rounds are tough, they're bigger, they're a stepping stone to what you're going to meet when you go internationally. So it's important to win, and the prize money is good, and the competition is tough, but it's nice because there's only 30 riders in the class, so you know if you jump a clear round that you've got a good chance. And yeah, it's very important. Like you said, Alex Butler has been the proof that the system works. That he came up through the National Series, the Premier Series, and then he won the National Championships, and now he's winning Grand Prix abroad. And indeed, Nicola Fitzgibbon also with her horse came from that level to the Aga Khan, so it shows you that it is a stepping stone to greater things.
Again, I'll be at Raoul. We'll have a couple of new horses. there. I haven't been there for a few years now. It's a great show, and I'm looking forward to having a good show there. And as far as looking forward, probably a bit similar to Cian, I will be I'll probably be back and forward to Europe quite a bit. I was lucky enough actually to win again. I mean, I've actually won the Premier Series myself, so that was it was a very good achievement at the time. And again, I think it is a very good stepping stone to doing the higher level. I think beforehand, before the Premier Series came around, the Grand Prix Series up to the top international level was just too much of a jump. So I think it's a very good middle ground that you can sort of work towards jumping internationally and being successful.
I know we're hosting an international show in August, and Newcastle's show have taken the final, which is fantastic for them after a couple of years off the scene. So it's great for Newcastle to be back. Chris, just your plans for your show?
I suppose it's the first step in the walk for us at international level. And we're running from the 23rd to the 26th of August inclusive, and we have a full schedule which is actually being published this week, and it's involving it's a 2-star show, and we're hoping that we get the support that's required to keep it growing, and we'd hope to move it up a level then maybe over a couple of years, depending on how well it gets supported and how well it beds into the international calendar. I suppose one comment I'd have would be that I think the absence of a signature fence for the sponsor in the Premier classes is something that should be addressed. I think you've 10 Premier Series. And if the last fence is your signature fence, that's 10 more opportunities to highlight, the fantastic sponsorship that you're giving. And I know there are complications with the logistics and organising that and everything else, but I think from a venue's viewpoint, to have a sponsor as committed as yourselves, I think the one thing that's missing in the class is a signature fence for yourselves. Yeah. I also think just to comment on one of the elements that has increased the prominence, and you've indicated earlier about the lack of maybe awareness publicly, but I think the initiative that Irish Sport TV have done with live streaming, and we had live streaming yesterday, and it was viewed in Japan, Australia, America, and I think there was 2 other countries involved as well. And it was interesting watching the live streaming, because we put it up in the coffee shop yesterday during the show, and while some of the poor unfortunates were out getting soaked, the rest were in the coffee shop sniggering. But what I'm getting at is we were getting texts from people in Germany and people in Australia as the show was progressing, and I think I think it shouldn't be underestimated the efforts that Irish Sport TV has put into it as well.
Just a second to come in on that. I mean, even from the point of view of creating business and trade in Ireland, I mean, it's fantastic to be able to watch it live. When I was in America, I was able to watch what's going on in Calvin. There was live streaming from there, and even to look back at the show, it's something that really should be encouraged. And I don't know that people sometimes understand the value of it. In other countries like Holland, Germany, they all have live streaming, so you can watch the shows, or you can look back at the horse, and it's a big asset, a big tool towards helping the business side of things, which of course needs help more than ever now, and any support these guys can get, they should get it.
John, I'd just like to add to that. Of course, Lar, absolutely fantastic. It's after bringing show jumping to a different stage altogether in the media. But we're the ones that have to put that out. For show jumping to be able to keep pushing this out, we need people like yourselves to say what a good idea this is, and we'll be able to get the wind behind ourselves and to promote it and get it sponsored and money towards it and things like that. Sure. So it's very, very important for the people within the sport to say exactly what Chris said, but to be let it known all over the place. It's getting out there is becoming more widely known. Is to bring it out that extra bit further, and you never know where we could go with this thing. It's only starting at this stage. Anyone else that would like to say something?
Just about the Newcastle show, Claire. It must be a great honour for you to have the final of the Premier Series.
Well, we're lucky enough to have 2 loyal sponsors. When a new sponsor this year with Deloitte, but Masterson has been a great sponsor for the last 4 or 5 years, and so it's a grass arena, so of course we do trepidation, but we have done work on the arena, we have done drainage, and we're just praying for fine weather, obviously, but we're very proud to have it, and we'll do our best to do a really good job.
And the Creek Cup is still up for grabs.
Creek Cup is still up for grabs. Absolutely.
I would just like to add my congratulations for Newcastle to come back. I know last year was a bit of a disaster, but fantastic committee to stay with the committee. That's what we need.
That is well done.
Thank you very much.
Christy.
We also have representatives from Oma Show as well. They're one of the longest standing shows in the country, and they've been stalwarts of the Premier Series with John Chambers and Anna McDermott here. Show going well again for this year?
Yes, indeed, and I'd like to acknowledge the considerable input that TRM made for our show. It's a highlight, it attracts the top riders. The competition is always very good, and we're lucky enough for us to host and qualify for Dublin for the pre-season as well, which is another added attraction, certainly from a spectator point of view, maybe not so popular for the riders. Thank you very much.
I'm delighted to be here at the launch this evening in Thoroughbred Remedies of the National and Premier Series, in which they're sponsoring once again this year. It's fantastic to have the support of a company like Thoroughbred Remedies, because indeed the National Series and the Premier Series is a stepping stone towards bigger international classes, and full marks to them, and we should be in for an exciting season.
Conor, Swail, you're a previous winner of the Premier Series. You're looking forward to this year?
Indeed. It's great that TRM are sponsoring it again this year, and I'm looking forward to competing in it.
Now you have Lansdowne plus some new horses for the season ahead. How important is the Premier Series for you in terms of getting ready for the international scene?
It's very important. It is. It's very good that there is a good high standard in the 150 standard to be able to jump in Ireland before you go abroad and jump in your 3 stars and above. You know, like it means then there's not so much of a gap in between national level and international level. So it really makes a big difference to us